They're payaso. They're clowns. Okay guys, here's my iPhone cam for the day. I hope I look pretty. Yeah. Anyway, so today's my performance day. Walking there now. This is kind of the looks. Okay, wow, little sneak peek. Anyway, so I'm walking to class. I will be hosting the show on script. So I'll be hosting the show and then doing my performance. And then yeah, we're done. Finished my intermediate. That's not, what's the word? Intensive. My intensive class that I haven't been able to shut the fuck up about. On this video, I'll be able to like give you like little snippets. I don't want to tell too much because I do think it was like a sacredness to this course and what we did. But other than that, I will talk about the project that I developed, how I want to continue to develop it, and just like everything that went in it, the thought process, and then honestly like the connection to why I'm even pursuing my master's, also my PhD soon. So yeah, well, if it even exists, Trump America. Ooh, canceled. We're gonna get canceled. But yes, I will keep y'all updated. Now to Alexa's cam.
Hey, Giselle's Alexa Pros. Don't look at the pillow. I'm gonna go to her performance. Anyways, I woke up at 12:30. I'm drinking this. Giselle, I don't know how the fuck you do this. This is hard. Follow me along while I go to Giselle's performance. I'm super excited. Also, this is not a couples channel. This is just a fun little thing. I'm here sometimes. I'm here not most of the times. But she asked me to do this, so I'm doing it for her. Literally forgot to mention this, but Giselle has a zine, right, that corresponds with her performance. It's really, really cool. She asked me to make a comic for it, so I did. This is what it looks like. I'll give you a little sneak peek. It was a story that we did together with drawings, little sketches for me. So now I need to get dressed and I'm dead ass gonna leave and go. Okay, bye. I've been wearing those shoes for years, y'all.
Hi, my Alexa Pros. It is the day after my performance. So yes, I started the semester and I did an intensive course. We basically curated our own story. I feel like the story that I kind of curated went through so many different timelines, and I guess I could share like a little bit of each. So why is it that every time I film, somebody wants to fucking burn New York down? Vamos a esperar. Ándale, te pasas de verga. Why is there always fucking noise on my street? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm just trying to tell a story, chingado. Ah! I was able to curate my story off of this process that we were given, and basically it went off of this exhibit piece created by Veronica Ganoa, and it was called Spanning World. Basically, the whole description of the piece is that you have these cachuchas on these kind of like rod-looking sticks essentially, and each one of them has different hats, and then also in the style of like how cachuchas are, at least in San Antonio, it's like you have some of the cachuchas that have like the bedazzled San Antonio, Selena, you know, if you know, you know. The description of the hat is to represent migrantes and their labor in the United States, so the life of them and also the death. So I was very captivated by that because the cachuchas had glass, so that was something else that was interesting, and there were glass pieces from like Ford trucks. So then I came up with this working title of Corridos de las Cachuchas. I developed this story that was set in like a very mystical, realist kind of place on the border, and developing the story of a cachucha seller being like this bridge for migrantes who are crossing over. That's kind of how the story developed. It changed a lot. And throughout the process, it was very eye-opening in terms of like creating a story, but also me not noticing that during this process, it's also connecting to how I am no contact, and how being no contact, I come to realize who am I without having the attachment of this history and culture and lineage on me? And how do I cultivate that lineage, culture, and history on my own without having those connections anymore, if that makes sense? Then in this process, I felt like it kind of turned into a lot of complexities and kind of showing that complex, self-identifying chaos and just issues that come through. The way that my story curated kind of like amplified this need and want and finding of myself being no contact. I also went through an iteration where I made it even more performative and even more magical, realistic, but I kind of came up with this idea of also adding this aspect of a payaso and how that in itself can be this like imagery as this payaso makeup, because I was really kind of obsessed with this kind of metaphor of like, you know, you have migrantes who are crossing over and like, you know, it's built in this storyline of like, oh, you're gonna have a better life and all these things, but like America sees us as payasos. Took in this kind of storyline of like, you know, telling like some of the sad truths of being a migrant in this country. And I like to think about this quote: there's one place that the greatest people with potential meet, and that's the graveyard. It's 3 deaths, the first death being crossing the border, the second death being working to death, and 3, something that has sat with me where it's like my dad being an immigrant, one of the things he's always told me is like, I want to be buried back at home. In being no contact, now me fearing that third death with him, and that third death being buried in a country where you're going to be forgotten and just a fucking replacement. Like, even in death, you can't win in this tragedy that happens to so many in this country. In the performance, I curated a soundscape. So at the end, while I'm kind of curating this like third death, you start to hear the border in the room. So like, I think that pressure at the end is kind of building with the soundscape and hearing the border calling me, and then just being like, maybe I'm a payaso thinking that I could do that I could stop these deaths, that I could stop everything that's happening to migrants. And I just cut the border sound that's building. And then I created a song. I sang the song out loud. And then I started to make the audience sing it. The line that they're singing is Quiero mi tierra. And I just yell, stop. And the last line is, do you really mean that? Or are you just gonna sing about it? In the time that we're living now, and also in the time that we've always lived in, it does feel like sometimes there is a performance in activism, there is a performance in community, there is a performance in making a change. And sometimes it feels like, oh, we can sing in harmony and we are community and we are each other's people, but it doesn't feel like that. And it's like, do you really mean that shit? Because at the end of the day, in the state that we are now, if this all falls to shit, who are the people who are gonna stand to fix it, to lead the charge, to resist, to reconstruct? Where's the mutual aid? Where's the community? So it was an amazing experience. I think I have a lot more to go. I want to build it in a different way. I think it's helping me with my theorizing. I think it could go into my thesis. I also got to make a zine. I think Alexis talked about it in her Alexis Cam. But I curated the zine with some personal archive material, and also just curating this like idea of the border, of this death, because I also think being a child of an immigrant, you kind of carry that death with you. And also this idea of like death not being literally just one death when we end our life, but death happening in our lifetime while we're alive. And then I got to work, co-partner with Alexa. We co-collaborated on this story because really utilized her artistry and her like storytelling in her mind to curate this fucking badass comic book. She's so talented. I'm so proud of her. I think she brought the story to life in such an amazing way. I think the way she designed it was so fucking badass. And it just was this beautiful story in terms of that, the cachucha crossing the border, how immigrants are treated by America. It was super cool. I think it was neat. I think it was different. Everybody else who was a part of the cohort, just talented. And I feel like all the works have such a potential to grow and change things. And now it's moving forward.
That shit was fire.
did it, y'all. We did it, Joe. Well, no, I don't support Joe, but we did it. But I don't support Trump either. I'm gonna shut up. And what did I say? My lesbian tias, they said, oh, sorry, it's all. You got it?
Yes.
We go again. I look tirada the house down.
Dude, I love
But I don't want to stay here, but I need to.
I love that it stays like that.
Yeah.
I'm getting you some shots.
That's me. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Do you want to talk about
Mothers.
do you want to talk about the ending of the performance? What are your final thoughts?
I did it. I look crazy right now because I had my clown makeup for my piece, which I'll probably talk about more.
Yeah. Wait, stay here. I'm giving. It's an interview. Wait, come on this side.
You
Right
said,
here.
what was I saying? Oh, no. It was super good. I'm proud of myself. I think a lot of good things are going to come from this, and I freaking did it. I'm kind of really happy about myself. I had some Thai food, and I want to go Mimi's for like 30 days.
Period.